I wrote this poem today. It's Christmas without snow. It's 2023 here. We don't have any snow. No snow this Christmas, only rain on the porch. No snowballs to be thrown into the faces of friends. Surprised by the luck. Man, this really sucks. I mean, this is the pits, and it ain't even cold. And I've heard Santa wants to go home and drink some cocoa on ice. I want my old friends back, but I don't know where the snowmen went. Maybe they'll be back next year if it gets cold, and I can ride my sled down the big hill in front of the convent. Those ancient nuns running out with their snowballs in hand saying, "You're going to go to hell if you do that again." Talking about snowing. Thoughts you'll never own. My battlefield is woods in the eyes of gloom and doom, and in all the other weird rooms behind the writing desk. Most people don't grow up to be psychos. It takes a special person, someone like you. Different tree. That wasn't a Christmas tree you put in the living room, but I love the way you decorated it. This is called Porcelain Breaks. We found her, but I don't know how. She lay there broken in 100 pieces, and we glued her back together, but she was never the same after. And it was sad, the way she lay there like a porcelain china doll, someone glued back together. Caught in the sad good night. Beyond those thoughts, we have a few. There are certain things that draw us near to the candles that seem to warm our tears. We trace our fates and fears. Was it all a theater acted out in so many words, or just a few broken hearts that never understood the inherent rates that took the stage before red curtains fell on a great escape to another place? It's hard to say without the mask that we often have to wear, for it must be remembered that beneath all the things we often shared, there were always those who loved and cared. This is titled, "And You Think Britney Spears is Crazy." The weirdest news tonight is that Santa Claus is somewhere up there in the sky. Silly old man, I wish he'd come down from there. He should know it's not safe up there. Certainly not on a cold night like this. Certainly not in an old sled like his. This was before we realized there was no snow, just rain. And a little boy, he's crying. He wanted to hit me with a snowball in the face. I love my flying saucer. It's a beautiful machine. I ride it around the airport, but no one knows it's me. They think it's an alien. And of course, I agree. It might be the girl you don't expect, the colder lips until all dreams are gone, and the science cats must walk home. This is titled Cycle Wind. I lost her from the beginning, and she was as pretty as she used to be. Something that faded. She wasn't as pretty as she used to be. Something that faded. The strange beauty of a scream queen while she's being killed. The knives coming down on a cold cycle wind. The final dance, the last romance of a young girl who would never get the chance to be much older or more beautiful. Kind of ominous, isn't it? Ooh. Calling for the answer. The things you see seem lost to me. You think you're there long to see, and you walk upon the sand beneath the cliffs, listening to the voices. The blue lifts up to meet the wind. Another sound zigzags across the land of rocks and trees, and the moon is a ballet dancer's yellow slipper. You wish you could explain to me in simple words. The birds might sing by the cold sea. I lifted my coat up against the sea, that it started talking to me with the roar of the waves splashing down next to me, and it was cold, so cold, to a man as old as me. It's like writing a poetry collection. It's the kiss of death before the landlord comes to collect the rent. This is titled Sorrow. Watching the leaves slowly blow across the wood deck, like a slow dance in the cold wind of our yesterdays and sad tomorrows, and the warm tears that fall slowly from her eyes. There are whispers in the hallway as her daydreams return with the monsters. That's good to me. How she disappears and reappears is hard to understand when you're under an orange full moon and everyone is dancing next to the ancient woods. This is titled with cold eyes yellow. They destroyed almost everything. My notebooks, my poems, my very thoughts in my heart, and they left me here to fall apart, to be lost. My imagination was gone. All my dreams as well, my passion for woods and my passion for life. I wasn't even a shadow of myself because I had no shadow left. I was empty and alone. I sat in a dark room and I never came out. I hid in a lonely desolation. There was absolutely nothing left. Darkness was my only welcome companion. I was Frankenstein, and I didn't even have a monster. I couldn't even look in a mirror because when I did, I would see a demon, and that demon was me, or at least what had once been me in another universe in life. No title. For those who left to find the sea, the colder lips you don't expect to see above the trees and wild geese wings, dancing on a winter breeze until her dreams were lost to me. Sometimes you have to paint essential things. No title again, man. I got lost in the woods. The woods were talking to me. Sorry, I have to start this again. I got lost in the woods. The woods were taking me to a place I'd never been before and I would never go to again. Death sang my name as I slowly fell apart. The end was near and I didn't like it a bit, but I was only going around this corner once. The woods taught me in no uncertain terms. The horrible cliches were in red. This is titled She Wrote Poems. Not much left but these few moments I have with her before she disappears in the cold, dark night and I never see her again. I thought she was a goddess come to visit, and I couldn't have known that I would never see her again. She didn't tell me where she was going, and I never asked. I thought I'd see her again, but I never did. No title again. That's the title of the poem, No Title Again. Is it like looking for the light switch, but you're looking on the wrong wall? Is it like painting your tongue because it is have gone and nobody cares? That the ears are voiced by the sad sea? That you're looking for stardust but only sweeping up eons? And Harlan Ellison died in his sleep? Is it late at this convention, but quiet as a lost snail, or dying in jail? Good night, dear stardust. This is called The Ghost of Mirrors. Some people consider me quite mad. I never said that I wasn't. I always put mirrors in the back of my doors. But then I never had very many doors, and some of them didn't close. The House of Fear. Getting close to the end. That has nothing, that's not part of the poem. Close to the end. The House of Fear. She took me to the House of Fear and it scared me like nothing ever had before. Maybe it was the ghost or the strange little monsters running on the floor. I don't know. But it did unnerve me and chill me to the core. It was like a horror show you might have seen the night before, or four woods because you were there and there was no way out the door. You could see a death-like figure talking on the phone. It was weird. There was no two ways about it. I asked the girl who I was with and if I could go home. That is when she freaked me out. When she said, "Don't you recognize it? This is your home." That was enough to make me scream. No, no. This is titled Wind Song. Just a place to live alone with weird girls walking across the front yard after it's been mowed, and cats looking down from the leaves of trees in search of things they could not afford, and a light wind blowing its disregard for smelling pumpkins left upon the porch. Somehow figured into this late autumn home she dismantled long, long ago when no one was at home and life was more than old doors and windows with curtains closed so the ghost couldn't scare anyone. Well, what about that? I'm right at the end too. That's the terrible thing. I got one poem left, I can't even get to it. I've been writing again. I held up my new poems and laughed. Okay, I have to laugh. I looked around at all the people running away from me, and I smiled as I said, yes, I have finally found the right words. And then I thought, maybe the people are running away from my words, my new poems, and not me. And I felt the potter switch from my poems and into my right hand. Right with my right hand. I shall conquer the world, I whispered, as other people ran away from me as fast as they could. I've never felt anything like it before, and I knew I was going to conquer the world. Well, have a Merry Christmas. That's the end of my poetry reading.
Merry
Hopefully,
Christmas.
short enough. Merry Christmas. Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.